and welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole and here on We Mama I do lots of motherhood, lifestyle, cleaning and organisational videos. So if you like that kind of thing, I'd love it if you could stick around and subscribe. As you can see, I'm holding my tiny little newborn baby. This is Nina. We ended up having a little girl and yesterday is going to be a 2-week postpartum and baby update video. So a little bit of a backstory. This little lady was not supposed to be here until September, but I ended up having an emergency C-section on the 8th of August because the little lady here had stopped growing. So yeah, it's been a wild ride. I've now been out of the hospital for a whole week. It was a very stressful, horrible, kind of uncertain time because she had to spend a bit of time in NICU. So yeah, I'll just get straight into the update. So first of all, I'll just start off. She is a very, very chilled out little baby. Aside from if she's hungry, then she will definitely let you know. She's got a right set of lungs on her. She will scream the place down when she's hungry. But aside from that, she's quite a little gurgly, happy little baby. She is kind of fit in so well. It's like she's just slotted in. Ask me again in 3 months how we're doing, but for the moment, it's like nothing has really changed. Obviously with having our little boy Didier, going from no babies to 1 baby was such a transition. You're not used to having less sleep. As we had less sleep anyway, it hasn't kind of made much difference. So I feel like this has been quite easier than I remember it with my first. So fingers crossed it's going to stay that way. I don't think so, but for now everything's lovely and smooth and quite calm at home. It was lovely watching my little boy meet her. My little boy is 19 months now, Didier. He was a little bit unsure of her at first, but now he's really kind of starting to grasp the concept that she's staying. A few months ago we bought him a pram and a baby, and we've just been kind of building up every day, telling him about babies, getting him to say baby. He knows that he needs to say, like, go shh, to be quiet around babies and to be gentle with them. He was a bit unsure at first and didn't, like, kind of ignored her. But now he likes to, when she's in the Moses basket, he likes to come over and stroke her head, which can be a bit nerve-wracking, but he is very gentle with her. And also the other day, I literally took a mug of coffee from the living room, from here into the kitchen, and when I got back he had his hands in the Moses basket, so of course he started to freak out. But he was literally just putting her dummy back in, like trying to put her dummy back in, which I just thought was so cute but terrifying. So we are kind of trying to just explain that this is his baby sister. He won't say Nina yet, but he will just say shh baby. And every night we're trying to get him to say, you know, good night Nina, and every morning when he kisses us good morning, we'll get him to kiss her too, so he kind of knows that she's part of the family now. The other day we also went out to like a play cafe, and she was in her bassinet at the bottom of the pram, and another little boy came over to have a look at her because she was a tiny baby in the pram, and Did's got very protective. He kind of like ran over and was like saying baby and was trying to push this little boy away. So I think that's his first kind of bit of brotherly love, I guess. He got very protective, like he was like, that's my baby, which is really sweet. She's very, very chilled out. She will happily just sleep all day until she starts squeaking and getting hungry. Obviously it's either gas or whatever it is, but she just smiles a lot, which I think is quite sweet. My husband Matthew has been off for 2 weeks. We did plan on having a little bit longer, but due to COVID, his workplace actually took a bit of holiday time off of him, so he's ended up just having 2 weeks. So 1 week was obviously not wasted, but 1 week he just stayed at home in a way because we were both in hospital. So it was a bit of a waste because he was just driving to and fro from the hospital every day. But we have had a lovely last week where he was off. I wanted to get as much done as possible. I know lots of people want to relax, but I knew that this period now, when he went back to work, I would be very much alone and relaxed anyway. So all last week we had some lovely days out. We went to Cheltenham and to Bath We actually stayed down my dad's for a few days, which was really lovely to see the rest of my family down in South Wales. So yeah, we've had a lovely last week. I've also taken her and my little boy to the park and also to some like play baby cafes. So I'm not really one to just stay at home and chill out all the time. I do like to be busy. And as I said, at the moment she's very small, she's just slotted in. So I think because we're used to, it's baby number 2, I've just kind of gotten on with it. Instead of just staying in and relaxing and feeling exhausted, I've just kind of got on with it, really, because you have to when you've already got one. We also registered her birth the other day, so she is now officially Nina Louise. My husband really liked the name Louise, but I wasn't really sold on it, and I kind of got dibs on the other name for Didier, so I was like, why don't we have Louise as a middle name? I'm still not 100% on it, but sure on it, but it's done now. And yeah, she's a little Nina Louise. That's basically been our last 2 weeks, I guess. But as for the details on her, she was born at 20 to 2 on the 8th of August. She weighed 5 pounds and 1 ounce. She's delivered via C-section because she'd stopped growing and also because she was in the breech position. She kept turning around. We had the midwife come round the other day and she has now put on 4 extra ounces, so she's now 505, which I'm really happy about because I am exclusively breastfeeding. I only lasted 2 weeks for my first little boy as I just really kind of struggled with waking up in the night. I've always had a really good milk flow and both babies have latched on really well. But I'm really happy to just kind of keep it going. I've not bought bottles this time around to tempt me. But yeah, she's exclusively breastfed on demand. So I'm really happy that we're kind of making progress with that. Everybody is saying that she definitely looks like me and my husband. They said that she looks a little bit like my husband, but she's definitely got my lips. I can't quite see any of it yet, but I don't tend to when they're this tiny. And at the moment she definitely has huge blue eyes, but obviously they're all turning colour and she's slowly opening them more every day. She tends to wake up every 2.5 hours for food, and then she will probably stay on my boob for about 10 to 15 minutes. At night, sometimes she can stay on a little bit longer for 20 minutes, or sometimes she can go for the real extreme and only stay on for about 6 minutes. I'm using an app called Glow Baby where I'm just tracking it all for now. She's a right little pooper. She doesn't stop pooing and weeing. I'm pretty sure my son didn't poo as much as she does. She's constant. Little poo machine. She has also not had a bath yet. Her umbilical cord only fell off the other day and it's still kind of healing, so we haven't bathed her yet. I think it's just starting to dry up properly now, but my husband won't be off work until tomorrow night, and of course I don't want to bath her without him, so she's gonna have to have an extra day without washing. I am giving her little water wipe baths, especially like underneath her chin area, her face, also all her bits. So just to keep her clean in between. As I mentioned before, we were in hospital for a whole week with her. Ooh. When she was born, she had a lot of fluid in her lungs and she had to be taken straight to NICU, and we didn't get out of NICU for a whole week. And she was also jaundiced, so she had to stay in the incubator for a few hours. This week now we're waiting on the midwife again because she's got to come out and do some more tests just to double check that her jaundice has completely gone, so we're just waiting on that. As for me, for my postpartum update, I am actually doing really well. I had a C-section at 36 weeks. I was dreading it. At my 32-week scan they said she was breech, and at 34 they said that she had turned around again. And when I asked, what's the possibility of her turning around, they said, they can, but it's not very likely. So I kind of packed my hospital bag, I got ready and just thought, oh God, I'm not gonna have a breech baby, I don't need a C-section. And then I had family members down staying at our house, and we went out exploring the Cotswolds on Thursday morning, Thursday the 6th of August. And I had a 36-week scan in the afternoon, and it was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Went for my scan and the consultant said, right, baby has stopped growing, your breech, so I've booked you in for a C-section. Can you go straight to Worcester Hospital and have a C-section, please? So I had a bit of a meltdown. It was crazy. I'm still just kind of recovering from it all now, but yes, I had a C-section. I am healing really well from it. As I mentioned, we spent a week in hospital with her in the NICU, so I think that did me quite good because I was in the hospital bed, relaxed. I just sat in a bed all day. I was put in a wheelchair and wheeled down to NICU so that I could see her. So I did a lot of resting, and I think that really helped. I didn't go back home. I wasn't walking around too much, and I wasn't lifting up my little boy. So after a week of being in hospital, when I got back, I just took it very easy again. Even though we went out places, I just took my time. I haven't really taken too many painkillers. I think the first week I did, because I'd wake up in the morning and felt like I'd been hit by a bus, especially the day after having the C-section. That was horrendous. Because she was in the NICU, I think that really distracted me, and I didn't really think too much about the scar or the C-section. My C-section, the scar is really healing really well. Apparently it is very, very small. All the nurses who came to examine it, I don't know if they were trying to make me feel better, but they just all kept saying that it's very neat and very small. Like, even 2 nurses said that they were surprised by how small it was. So I'm not looking, I'm too scared to look at it. I'm absolutely terrified, don't want to look at it, don't want to see it. So I've not even looked at it yet. I had to have an injection in my stomach for 10 days after the C-section, which is called Clexane. I had a 10-day course, and I had to give myself the injection when I got back home for 3 days. The nurse did it in hospital, but yeah, when I got home I still had to give it to myself. But I finally had to stop doing that now, which I'm so grateful for. I'm also on iron tablets because I lost a bit of blood and I'm now anemic again. Like I mentioned before, breastfeeding is going really well. Because she was in NICU, I couldn't quite breastfeed her straight away, so they did recommend that I pumped. So I used the hospital pumps, and the first few days I obviously just got colostrum, but I was getting about 30 ounces out of one boob each time. So they were quite impressed by that, and then literally my milk came in like 3 days, and I was pumping up to, I think I had, the bottles were 100 ml, so I was doing 100 ml in each boob. So I kept saying I got good equipment because I have got huge boobs. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I was really quite fortunate that I had a lot of milk come in. So I just sent that all down to the NICU, and they had to tube feed her, which was horrendous. But now, when she came out of NICU, we just put her straight on the breast. She's been doing really, really well. The only thing that I did notice is obviously when my milk did come in, my boobs were huge. They really engorged, really painful, really swollen. I've got such a bad back because I think my boobs are just so heavy. And also, I also noticed that I had like a lump in my armpit. And they just said that was because I was pumping so much, like obviously like 100 mils. Oh God, not even 100 mil, 100 ounces. 100 ounce into a 100 ounce bottle. And then to stop pumping and then to just go for like a 5-10 minute feed with her, they were like, oh, you're gonna get blockages. So I had a really huge, scary, like golf ball sized lump underneath my armpit. But they were like, you just need to massage it and hopefully it'll go. It literally went within 2 days, but I was really frightened that it was going to stay there forever. She is latching really well. This boob is absolutely fine, but this boob, my nipple is so sore. I don't think she quite latches too well onto this one, so it does get really, really sore. My stomach has gone down a little bit. I only had a little bump anyway because she wasn't very big, and also I had a bit of a tummy anyway, so it's still kind of there. It's just like a little pouch. So it has gone down a little bit, but I won't be weighing myself. I didn't weigh myself before or after. I'm really not into weighing myself. I'm really not bothered. I think that's pretty much it for this update. I did want to do a 1 week update and then a 3 week update, but as we just spent the whole first week in hospital, I thought I would just do a 2 week and then a monthly update as well. But yeah, she's slotted right in. She's such a good little girl. I can't believe I have a daughter now. It is crazy. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.